Hey everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Embrace Life Coaching and Fitness. My name is Spring Whipple, and I wanted to address a question that I was asked today in regard to divorce. So I've kind of become an expert in this area just because of my own recent experience, and because that's what I tend to do, is to delve into personal development whenever there's something that is especially personally affecting me, so that not only can I help myself move through, but then I can turn around and help others as well. So a woman who I was talking with earlier today had told me how she's going through her divorce, and it's a long-term marriage that is now coming to an end, and how she feels stuck. So women tend to have a little bit more difficulty in general going through divorces, because obviously we're a little bit more in touch with our feminine side, with the emotions, and then also financially it can be much more difficult for a woman to get back to her, where she is used to being financially, versus a male. And I don't want to go into dispute with that, or any kind of debate with that. You can look that information up, how financially it affects women differently than it does men. But so she wanted to know how she can get through this feeling stuck that she's going through right now. And so my recommendation was, well, there's five stages that is common for people to go through when they're going through divorce. And it is denial. So obviously you don't want to accept what's going on. Then there's anger. And then there is bargaining. Then there's depression. And that's supposedly the worst of the stages, really, is the depression stage, and most of the times it lasts the longest. And then after that, it is acceptance. You kind of work things through. And then there's two other stages that they say potentially could be like nuances off of, the other stages, which are regret and grief. So I don't know. I mean, just all in all, divorces are pretty traumatic and horrible for anybody. But anyway, for this person, for this person, my recommendation with her was to, first of all, I asked her if she had been journaling at all, which she said that she just didn't even feel like journaling, which I totally understand. There's times even when life is going really great that maybe I don't feel like journaling. I actually keep a journal with me at all times. And if something comes to mind, I will literally pull off the road and just jot something down. Or I also have an app on my phone that allows me to just real-time journal. So I will do that sort of a thing. But the reason being that that's important, that's actually been scientifically proven. You can look that up as well. That it allows you to think clearer and better, and to really get like all the thoughts that are jarbled up in your brain, getting them out on paper. It kind of like, it's an organization kind of thing. It's a release. It's just really a good practice to get into. But yes, I'd ask her, I said, just, try journaling just once a day. Even if it's just a couple sentences, it doesn't even have to be complete sentences. You can do just like free form journaling, where it's just, you just put whatever comes to your brain on paper, and there's no rhyme, reason, meaning, anything. Just do that. The other thing is because it is a transition, and it's a very, very traumatic one for a lot of people. You're giving up a lot of the knowns that you have for a lot of unknowns. So one thing I told her as well to do was to think of something that she's always wanted to do, or a place she's always wanted to go, or experience, or see, or what have you, and then plan to do that. Give yourself something to look forward to. Make a plan. I mean, financially, you may not be able to do it, because that's obviously a big factor of divorce, is the financial impact. But you can go and you can talk to a travel agent if it's a place that you want to travel to. You can look at the brochures. You can look at the hotels. You can start saying, okay, well, let's see, if I want to do this, how much am I going to need? Talk to people, go to like meetup groups who do traveling. And there's always the Facebook groups if you want to get into Facebook groups for even females who travel alone. And they can kind of help out with those kind of things too. So I told her to do that as well. Just to plan something, give herself something, like I said, to look forward to. The other thing too is to just really focus on what you have control over. It does you no good to sit there and try to burden yourself down with everything else that you have absolutely control over. So for myself, it was literally, you know what, I am going to focus on my necessities, because that's all I can generally, that's what I need, and it's all I can really do at this time. Everything else is just going to have to wait. And or if you're a person who has somebody who is willing and able to help you out, enlist them. Ask them, say, hey, you know what, while I'm going through this transition, moving into my new life, would you be willing to help me out with some of these other things, because it's just too much for me right now. It's very overwhelming, and I just really need some help getting some of the things sorted out. Simple things as far as like, can you just sit down with me while I figure out what my monthly expenses are, so I can figure out what my bills are, so I can learn about insurance, because I've never had to deal with auto insurance or homeowners insurance before. I've never had to deal with renters insurance before. I've never had to call my car payment company before. Can you just sit here with me while I go through some of this stuff, because it's really overwhelming, and that in itself can be a lot. I think that those few steps right there are going to help if you're going through a situation where you're feeling stuck. They are going to help. And just remember, you know, it is a transition. It can be very traumatic. Just give yourself some time. Give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself. Be very, very kind to yourself. Be gentle, because you're going through a lot. And just know, you know, it's going to be okay. It's as bad as it can feel sometimes. It's not the end of the world. You're not going to feel stuck forever. Things will start moving, and you will start feeling those things as life and time goes on. Things will start moving. And just know that you can't tolerate stuck. You've got to do something. You've got to take some action. And if that's just journaling or sorting out, you know, the bills, or planning the trip, or the don't do anything like crazy, like a family reunion. Don't try to do a family reunion. That would be kind of crazy. That's a little much if you're going through some traumatic experience. But I hope that this has served you in some way or shape or form. If it has, I would appreciate any kind of comments or any feedback that you may have. If you have any questions about the divorce, oh boy, like I said, I've literally become an expert and try to help myself, and I hope that I can help others through the whole transition through divorce. Okay, so all right, you guys, take care of each other. Love you. See you later. Bye.